do you bring to the table? It does not seem like much. Also, you are a 5 on the attractiveness scale of 1 to 10. You won't answer because you do not have much to offer. Neatard.
Please.
That is objective.
And that's why you're behind the screen and I'm in front of it.
Oh shit, Pasty George.
Bye.
Behind the
Bye.
screen.
Why don't
Oh
you
shit,
come in
she
front
got
of the
you,
screen?
Pasty George.
Why don't you come? Yeah, did you get paid
shit.
for your looks ever in your life?
Actually,
I don't think so.
He's a very handsome guy.
Okay, well, he needs to get his
He's very
eyes
tall.
checked.
Okay, everybody. Notice how these women, these feminists here on the Whatever podcast, they're like gloating about being paid for selling their bodies online as if it's some kind of badge of honor. Like, notice that. There used to be a time when we used to shame women who used to do this, who are in that industry. Now we're saying we should just tolerate it and applaud them. Say it's empowering to share your naked body online for literally the entire planet. Have any one of these women ever bothered asking the question, why should a man put a ring on their fingers for something you have already given away to every single man on the entire planet without the need for that? Pretty good question they should be asking.
Very handsome.
Couldn't care less.
Huge penis.
Could not. How would you know
that?
How would you know? Couldn't care less.
He just has big dick energy, you know?
I am.
Is there something you need to tell us?
Yeah, right.
Is this like a...
right now?
Huh?
Wait,
You're
I
right,
have a
I'm
question.
gay.
Has
How did you
anyone
guys
ever noticed how blue Brian's eyes are?
Wow.
Is there
Has
something you
anyone
need to tell us,
Beautiful.
Brian?
Look.
They are blue.
But I feel like they were more blue when he was younger.
It's true.
Can we see a picture?
I like how you segue.
They've become colder.
Can we see a picture?
I've aged. Just wait a little bit, Felicity. I know you're trying to goon over my young pictures or whatever. Just wait, okay? We'll get to it later.
Look, I've been I was bullied, okay? Like since I was a child. Like.
Well, let's not trauma dump. Let's talk about the table thing.
No, but I'm just saying. So like, this is not new to me. Like your opinion is totally cool and fine. You can think however you want about my outward appearance, but like I don't need anybody's validation for how I feel about myself. Period.
I see. Okay. But you also didn't like the question, what you bring to the table.
Yeah, I don't like that
What's wrong with that? What do women bring to the table is my question. I can think of things, but I'm curious what you guys think.
You want our children, apparently.
Yeah.
You've been talking about
Thank
that
you.
for like
Hey,
the past.
Mary. Quiet back there, please. I know it's not your fault, but you guys don't be whispering back there, fucking and shit. No, I didn't mean it like that. I said fucking, and I didn't have anything to follow it up with. All right.
What do women bring to the table? Is that like a legitimate question right now?
What does
Pretty funny.
anyone bring to the table?
We literally are the portals to life. You know that you would not be in existence right now without one of us, correct?
Yes, I'm aware.
Like,
You can't give birth to anything, madam, without the need of a male sperm. One would think a full-grown adult woman would know that. Also, I'm pretty certain the current Western birth rates would disagree with you on that. But more importantly, notice how these women, they seem like the average feminist, like the ones on the Whatever podcast, they seem very prepared to answer that question to a potential employer, like a male employer. But when it comes to answering that question for a potential husband, they get very badly triggered. And I hate to break this to you ladies, but if you get very badly triggered by that question instead of just answering it, that kind of says a lot about what you're able to bring into a man's life. which is not much. Where if you date overseas, you'll notice that the women can answer that question straight up. They can cook delicious meals for you from scratch. They can even teach you how to cook delicious meals from scratch. For example, one of my favorite things to do with Carlene was our cooking dates. I learned how to cook delicious Filipino food from scratch. As a result, my grocery bill went down, and I have an enormous amount of Instacart credits to the point where I can use my Instacart credits to order at a restaurant every other week. Every other day of the week. So, yeah, there's that.
Like,
I'm aware.
period.
What is the table?
What
The
kind of a
table is the
question is that?
No, but I'm a little bit confused. So you, like, for example, she doesn't want to have kids.
Okay.
She's
fine.
in a relationship. She doesn't plan to have kids at any point. I assume she brings something to the table for her boyfriend to want to be with her, unless she is the table. I don't
Sure.
know. But like this idea that women, like that's the ultimate defeater, women have children. Are they, first off,
No, that's not
Are
the
women actually doing a good job of having children?
Do you want to be in a relationship with a woman, and why?
Well, what?
Do you want a man?
Do you want a man or a woman, and why would you want a woman?
I guess he's
Wait, what?
he's asking for like what positive traits do you bring?
Not-
Aside
to a
from
relationship?
childbirth?
Yeah,
But
like
hold on.
personality
Pause. Wait.
traits.
Do you want a man?
No, I'm straight.
Wait. So then what?
Are you straight?
Yeah.
Is anybody here like
So-
bi or anything? Just curious. No. Okay.
Women clearly.
But okay, so
bring
here's a
something.
better way to
Yeah,
put it.
I can articulate
No, here's
it,
a better
but-
way to put it. What positive characteristics do you have as an individual that you could bring to a partnership?
Well, really quick before you answer that question,
Okay.
you said like this: women bring children, but okay, how about like when a guy is dating an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old woman, there's not an expectation that she get pregnant anytime soon. So it's like, what is a woman bringing to the table beyond just children?
Femininity, nurture,
Okay.
Loyalty.
loyalty.
Intelligence.
Thank you. Intelligence, intellect.
Wait, also men bring...
Guidance,
Men can
insight.
bring these things too.
No. I was gonna say men. It's like you need men to have children also.
Intuition.
So men would bring that to the table.
Intuition.
Yeah.
Into like spiritual intuition. Once again.
Really?
Yes.
Women bring intuition.
Absolutely.
Wait, let's test this out.
Of course.
Who here has dated a bad guy? Show of hands. Bad guy,
Yeah.
abuser,
Yeah.
narcissistic, psychopath, sociopath.
Some would say. Some would
I don't
say.
know. I feel like every girl has like I dated a narcissist story.
I mean, that doesn't.
that
mean-
intuition.
Yeah,
where was
that-
intuition.
That doesn't negate intuition.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I think
Thank
you
you.
can see signs when
Thank
you're
you.
younger, and also ignore those signs at the same time.
All right, everybody. Notice how every single feminist on this whatever podcast, they're now doing the thing where they give an answer to the question, but their answer is basically just overly broad terms that could literally just be anything. It literally can. From my experience, when I was on the local Western Day market, what that means is it's a covert confession that you literally bring nothing to the table, and therefore you bring nothing of sustainable value to a man's life. There you go.
And then when you're older, you learn not to ignore the
But,
signs.
how is a man going to benefit from your intuition? Like,
do you mean?
how does that benefit your partner?
She has an intuition that he
making
should
life
not date her.
making life choices.
I mean, I'm
having
not saying, I'm
a
not saying
partner,
you can't have a great intuition. I'm saying like what okay.
having a solid support system. Why are the majority of men dealing with loneliness, with higher suicide rates?
But how is your intuition going to help that?
Because you are bringing something that a man does not innately have. That's
Men don't
why.
have
The reason why, madam, that men are dealing with higher suicide rates is because of the way how the average Western woman treats them here in the West. It literally is. For example, men are having our constitutional rights to due process and be innocent until proven guilty violated in multiple facilities, which could literally lead to suicide. Men are also being taught at a very young age that being born a man or a boy, whichever term you like to use, means you're born with some kind of inherent evil that you have to spend your entire life working on atoning for. This can also create a high dynamic of male suicide rates. But you don't want to look at that because that would put you in a position where Western women are not the supreme goddesses of the world.
Intuition?
They operate from a different operating system. They have more logic. We have more spiritual, emotional intuition. That's my take. That's my take. That's my take.
I don't know. I know
look.
plenty of women that are like, I'm not spiritual. I don't believe
That's
in all
fine.
that. So that doesn't apply to every woman. Are you talking about yourself?
I'm speaking, of
Okay.
myself. Yeah.
Ultimately, though, look, if women can ask men what they bring to the table, that's fine. I think it's fine when men ask women what they bring to the table. I think the difference is that men tend to better answer the question.
What do you bring to
Yeah,
the table?
answer the question then. How did I
How
not
about you answer the question first, then
Blue
I'll
I did
eyes.
answer your question.
I thought you hated the question. What you bring to the
Oh,
table?
what I personally, I just answered the question for
What do you
myself.
bring?
What do I bring to
Yeah.
the table? Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to go into that. So, I mean, I think people bring all kinds of different things into a relationship. I think, yeah, I know. I'm going to get to that. So, I think that obviously both men and women care about looks. We care about personality. We care about certain things. So, looks wise, I think I'm pretty average looking, but I think I do have one or two things in my favor. I'm tall, 6'1", blue eyes. That's probably positive characteristics on looks. But again, average looking guy. Don't think it's like most of what I'm bringing. The other thing I bring, though, is in terms of my success, I'd probably put myself in top 1%, well, I guess, are we using percentile or percent? Top 99 percentile in terms of my success. This would mean that I am more so looking for more traditional dynamic. So whoever I'm with, never have to work a day in their life. Everything will be taken care of. Not to say that I don't have any expectations of a woman. I definitely do. But everything will be taken care of. You might not value that, but there are plenty of women who highly, highly value that. And then the other thing I would say is I have my head on pretty fairly straight. Don't drink, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't gamble, don't really participate in any vices. Some women might not care about that, but I have my head on fairly straight. So
All I'm hearing is money and no addictions.
And
So
height.
what else?
oh yeah,
I think the bigger question you should be asking, madam, is what else do you want from a guy besides his resources? Because after all, dating apps don't lie. The majority of Western women here are swiping to date the top percent of male earners. They are. Also, medical documents don't lie. Syphilis is now rapidly has now pretty much reemerged as a female-dominated illness because you are literally dating the exact same type of man. You are. Also, we'd like to point out to all you ladies that the world is built up by logic. It's not built up by your emotions. That is the reason why men built the world. It's also the reason why women do need men, because without men, you ladies would die. You literally would. That's not sexist. That's just the fact of what a woman's life looks like when she no longer has any of the benefits that men bring into a woman's life, since the dawn of mankind to this exact day. It literally is.
Say I'm massive amounts of ambition. I'm very creative.
Hardworking.
What's that?
Hardworking. I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, I'm very hardworking, very ambitious. I'd say I'm generally pretty good leadership.
Can I ask you a question? How much of your personal success can you attribute to a woman?
I don't really understand the question, but
Are you saying
zero?
Zero?
I guess.
So your mom having you, raising you, caring for you, you would say that contributed nothing to who you are today. Is that what you're saying?
You've totally shoehorned in this. I
No,
mean,
I'm just
question is
asking.
completely incoherent. You're talking about my success with my business.
I'm
in terms of
saying-
my, hold on, and like your argument is incoherent, and I'll explain why. So, and you wanted to do this like straw man, basically. So,
What do you mean?
You wanted to do a little gotcha there. I see what you're doing.
No, I didn't.
No, I'll explain
I
it.
just genuinely
You
wanna
said
know.
how much of your current material success is related to your mother.
Not
So-
material, just personal success in general. Just
well,
all
then
of
I
the
would
things that
have
you
to say that
described.
your parents are like probably the number one influence on your life. So
Okay.
then, but you wanted to not make it about my parents or my mom. You wanted to make it about women in general. So my parents raising me would entail both my mom and my father.
Fair, okay.
Okay, but you're trying to do
So
some gotcha.
50% of
well,
that?
your mom's a woman. So, but however,
Did you interpret it that way? Because that's not.
that's exactly how I interpreted it.
Okay, well,
And also, I don't see how it's relevant. How is it relevant? Like, yes, I'm prepared to sit here and say, yes, both my mom and father shaped me and
That's all I'm
helped
asking.
craft me. And
that's all I'm asking.
but I mean, a lot of it is also like I'll give them props. Like, had great parents, wonderful parents.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe in having my own agency, and I would
Sure.
attribute my success
Mm-hmm.
to look. I had wonderful parents. They brought me into the world. They raised me. They took care of me. Still fantastic relationship with my parents. They're great. Love them. But like in terms of, I don't even know how to quantify this. My parents didn't give me $1 million loan.
Okay.
You know, like Trump did. I'm self-made.
Okay.
And so perhaps, I don't know, how do we extend this to any other? So then by this logic,
To answer everyone's question on this podcast, it's not the parent's job to tell a child who they need to be when they grow up or what their success needs to be. It's the parent's job to give their child the tools necessary to make that decision on their own. Yeah. Also, let's face it, pretty sure data is showing right now that the majority of the most violent criminal offenders here in the West are people who are raised by single mothers. Excuse me. They are. Just because you give birth to a child, that alone does not mean the child's going to be successful. One line I like to quote is that it takes more than popping a baby out of a uterus to be a mother. It really does. And that's all I got to say.
anybody who's ever successful ever, what percentage do we attribute that to their parents? I don't know how to.
I mean, yes, we all came from someone. I don't. What was the point?
That was sort of my basic
Also, even
point.
if you had shitty parents, that can motivate you. Okay, my dad's an alcoholic. I'm never going to touch alcohol. I'm not going to ever have a sip of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was, my mom, she was abusive, and I used that pain as motivation to become rich.
Okay.
So I don't really understand that. I don't know. I just don't understand the question.
The conversation has been totally derailed. We're talking about what
Yeah,
you
I
bring to
know.
the table.
Yeah,
and you said what you brought to the table, and it was like,
Yeah,
well, all
I don't
I'm
know why.
hearing is blank.
Yeah, I don't know what
It
the
was
heck-
kind of like belittled. Your reasons. Oh, all I'm.
Well, what I'm hearing is that men deal with trauma on average, men deal with trauma and pain a lot better than the average woman does. Because the fact is, men live in a world where no one's going to come to our rescue. And therefore, when we deal with pain or trauma, we have to learn how to deal with it ourselves through trial or error. The average woman lives in a world where, like, hey, you cry victim, people will just come to your rescue and help you out. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure all those get out of the jail free cards is the reason why the women make up the majority of the nation's debt. Anyways, before we close this out, just want to say to answer the question of what does feminists bring to the table? Nothing. Because feminism is literally nothing. That's not sexist. That's just me pointing out that there's no real achievable goal for all this. There really is not. You'll have